Hey everyone, I'm Harlan Gatlin, and I want to welcome you to our interview series, Behind the Byline, where we get a glimpse behind the curtain at the fantastic writers who contribute to our team. Joining me today is Michael Jung. Michael, would you like to share a little bit about yourself?
Sure. My name is Michael Jung, and I've been writing pretty much all my life. A lot of people take some time to figure out what they want to do, and I've always known I wanted to be a writer since the seventh grade. And then I learned that, you can research topics and learn stuff this way. And that was just so much fun to be able to contact people and listen to their stories and then tell their stories through writing. It's just something that's been a part of my life for a long time, and I've been very blessed to make my living this way.
Absolutely. I think that's an awesome introduction, and you kind of briefly spoke on this, but just getting right into it, what got you into the world of content marketing?
Like I said, I always loved to write, but most of my writing in the past were like research papers for school or my personal fiction. And that's kind of where I thought a writer's career would have to be. I mean, I thought you'd have to be like a best-selling New York Times author to make a living as a writer. So I looked around and I found this great online course that I want to plug right now. It's called Write Your Way to Your First 1K. It was done by a professional writer named Elna Kane, and she's kind of made it her mission now that she is a successful online writer to teach other people, how to get into the business. And I learned so much about how in this online world today, everybody needs somebody to write their blog articles. Everybody needs somebody to write their social media content or podcast show notes or website material, landing pages. And there's so much opportunity out there to not just engage in writing, but learn new things and further your own knowledge and help other people, further their own knowledge. So I got into that. I found some clients. I got together with some content agencies like ClearVoice, and I started to really find all these clients who needed somebody like me. And it's been a really good ride.
Absolutely. You mentioned when you talked about getting into the world of content marketing, how important Elena Kane was to you. I would love to dig a little deeper there. What kind of work does Elena Kane do, and how does she help you shift your career?
Well, Elna Kane is a Canadian based freelance writer. At least she started out this way. I would call her more of an educator at this point. But she got into the business because I think she was a mother to new twins and she wanted to, stay employed, but she also wanted to be a mom. She began to study the freelance writing business and learned that there were so many different niches that you could get into. So one of her early works that she did was parenting. She eventually got to the point where she was making six figures from her writing. And at that point, she decided to not just continue writing, but to teach other people how to do this. So she began constructing webinars and online courses and recorded, video chats and things. She has a private Facebook group, which was one of the big selling points of this because you could go there, look for support. People are there. They can exchange ideas. There are a lot of people all the time, saying, "Oh, I found this great lead," or even, "I have this client, but we've been working together for a while, and now I need to offload them. Does anybody have expertise in this area? I can recommend you." And finding Elna's course didn't just put me in contact with her and her course. It put me in contact with so many writers from across the country, different countries. And it's just really fun to learn from them and see what they're doing and to bounce ideas off of them.
Yeah, I think networking is one of those aspects of freelance writing and content marketing that's often overlooked when we're talking about how do you keep up with what's going on, not only in the content marketing industry, but in all of these other industries and niches,
Mhm.
right? Alongside networking, how do you stay up to date with the latest trends and developments in the industries you're working in?
Well, a lot of it is, inevitably reading a lot. So, I love reading online articles. I'm the kind of guy who will go down a rabbit hole and I'll read something and I'll follow a link into another video and all this, and I'll start to learn all these cool facts. And that's always fun. Beyond reading online, I think the most important thing you can do, and something that I've had the fortune of having opportunities to do, is to talk to real people. When I write an article, I try to get in touch with an expert. And a lot of the articles that I've written actually put me in contact. So through ClearVoice, I found a client who wanted me to write a lot of articles on mental health. And they would connect me with one of their therapists, one of their psychiatrists, and we'd set up a Zoom meeting and we'd talk for like 20, 30, 40 minutes, about whatever topic we're doing. And they would tell me all this information on this that maybe I could find online, maybe I couldn't, but I would never get the kind of insight that they did. They told me personal stories about the clients that they worked with, um, tactics that they used that worked really well, and all that could go into my article. So I was able to share something that you wouldn't normally find online. If you just wrote something that was, I don't want to say regurgitated information, but stuff that you copy from different articles. As writers, sometimes we feel kind of isolated. We're always in front of the computer screen, but there are always all these great ways to connect with people and to learn that way. I don't think you can really take the human equation, the personal connection out of your education that way.
I completely agree with you. You did mention networking with people and how sometimes as a writer you can almost feel isolated at times, so that human engagement is really important. So I would be remiss if we didn't take time to be able to share some tools and techniques that you use to conduct research and gather insights. That's very helpful for other writers who might be viewing this.
Definitely, definitely. I actually wrote an article on this, and it's about the importance of finding your writer's community. For a while, like years ago, before I got into this business, I ran a writers group. We would talk face to face and we would share our writing. But the internet has opened up a lot of opportunities there. I mentioned the Facebook group that Elna Kane has. I mean, that's been great for connecting me with people. I'm on LinkedIn a lot, and I've met a lot of people there. I've actually, some of my best interview subjects came from LinkedIn. Sometimes it's more on just a social basis, but even then, it's nice because they'll give you that encouragement, that connection.
Yeah, absolutely. I want to hear what drove your passions for wanting to write about entertainment, and what continues to drive them today.
Well, when I started, I wanted to be a fiction author, and I'm still pursuing that dream. I still write short stories and novels on my personal time. So when I got into the field, I was able to use my connections in the entertainment field to write a lot of great articles. I started to write for a company called Screen Rant, and I was mostly writing about comic book articles. So I basically wrote about all the comics that I was reading in the last 30 some years. So yeah, and I keep having my hand in it. I think moving forward, again, more interested in being a direct part of the entertainment industry. So rather just writing about comic books and TV shows, I want to complete my books and get them out there. I self-publish.
We have this kind of passion that you have for the storytelling aspect of movies and in the entertainment space. Are there any interesting or unique strategies that you're seeing in the entertainment industry regarding content marketing?
When I got into this, I thought I would just write about entertainment. And I kind of in the back of my mind thought, oh, digital marketing, that's a profitable niche. Maybe that's something worth looking into. But then, I started to put my name out like in LinkedIn, and I got in contact with a nice man named Jeff Gomez. And he is the CEO of a company called Starlight Runner, which works with a lot of entertainment businesses. And he specializes in a special kind of storytelling called transmedia storytelling, which is almost like very intimately connected with digital marketing. Basically, what he's saying is that, today we don't just experience stories through one medium. I mean, we don't just experience stories by watching movies or reading books or watching TV shows. Now, the story can stretch across all these different platforms. So, especially right now, you used to have to go to a movie theater to experience Star Wars, right? Well, now you can just turn on your TV and stream a Disney Plus show about, Obi-Wan Kenobi or Rebels or, the Clone Wars or something like that. And it's still part of the Star Wars world. You're still learning more of the history, the little corners of this universe that the movies couldn't explore. You go to a Disney theme park and you can go to Galaxy's Edge. You can physically move around in the world, and it's not just an attraction because a lot of the events in that theme park are going to be referenced in the TV shows or the movies. Right now, we consume advertisements and become aware of properties through so many ways. We can read an article, we can read a blog post, we can watch a video. you can get people from so many different angles and make them aware of a property and just build up your brand that way. And I never realized, just how much fun it could be to build your brand, to build brand awareness. You hear about people crunching numbers and saying we got to build our brand and we got to make people more aware of all this. And yes, that's very important. But there's also that fun aspect where you have a property, you have a service or a product that's really cool, and you want more people to know about it. So why not let people know about it through multiple channels?
Exactly. And I think that's a deeper discussion too of all the different forms of content marketing that we have now. It's not as simple as just writing a blog article. I'm very fascinated with the new types of digital marketing trends that are emerging and the new types of tools that are being used to market, especially like on the social side as well, and on the design side. I just want to thank you so much for sharing those stories. I love hearing stories like that. We've been able to see your past, how you came into the world of content marketing, what you're doing now. And I think it's only right that we finish off by talking about the future, right? What are your future goals and aspirations as a content writer and strategist?
As a content writer and strategist, I'm always looking to expand my expertise. So, right now, it's true that a lot of my income comes from writing blog articles, from writing social media. I'm writing podcast show notes for an education company right now, which is a little new. But I love to keep going further. I'd like to write white papers. I'd like to write more video scripts because that's always fun. I did write quite a few YouTube video scripts for Looper, including one that got like 3 million views, which I'm so proud of. It was the complete history of the Marvel Cinematic Universe in chronological order. It has to be updated like constantly, so I
Yeah.
updated it twice, and that's like the video itself is like an hour and a half right now. It's practically a movie length video in itself. I mentioned before that even though most of my niche areas are entertainment and digital marketing and mental health, I'd like to get into travel writing. I'm going to travel across the country. One of my goals is to see all 50 states before I turn 50. So I'm going to be out on the road, and I'd love to write about my experiences and share them, and have them published online. I'm still going to be writing those novellas and those fictions, short stories, and I self-publish a lot. I know how that works, so a lot of that stuff will be out there pretty soon.
Awesome. There's
Yeah.
so much to look forward to in your writing career and in your marketing career. I'm so glad that you get to be a part of our team here at ClearVoice and our network here at ClearVoice. And thank you so much for joining us today, Michael. It truly was a pleasure to talk to you. We'll be back with more interviews with our dynamic writers and industry leaders here at ClearVoice. To learn more about our amazing content specialists, visit clearvoice.com.